I'm Andrew, and this is Cross Country Moto Rider.
On this channel, I'll be talking about long-distance motorcycle touring. I have the perfect trip planned to kick this all off. It's May 26th through June 5th. Let's get into the trip plans. On May 26th, I'm going to leave my home in Salt Lake City and travel to Las Vegas, Nevada. It's a short 420 miles, and when I get there, I'm going to have some fun. The following day, I'm going to travel 330 miles to San Diego, California. I'm going to spend a couple of nights there and visit an old friend. Sunday, May 29th is going to be my toughest day of the whole trip. I'm going to travel from San Diego, California, over 1,500 miles to Beaumont, Texas, and I'm going to do it all in under 24 hours. After 8 hours of sleep in Beaumont, Texas, I'm going to hop back on the bike and do 786 miles to Jacksonville, Florida to complete coast to coast in under 50 hours. The next day on May 31st, I'm going to drop down to Key West, Florida, do 500 miles, and enjoy Highway 1. On June 1st, I plan to do 940 miles from Key West to Chattanooga, Tennessee. On June 2nd, I'll do 800 miles carrying on to Oklahoma City. June 3rd, I plan to do 570 miles to Alamosa, Colorado. Just north of that town is Colorado Gators, where I'll get a chance to wrestle some alligators. After a day in Alamosa, I'll head 530 miles to Salt Lake City, Utah to complete my trip and get back home. Let's get into trip preparation. Number one, I want to talk about bike prep. I'm going to be riding on my Yamaha FJR 1300. In order to make sure I'm ready for this trip, I want to inspect the bike and make sure everything is in proper functioning order. I want to identify potential issues and address them before I get on the trip. You need to be up to date on your maintenance, and while it's important to take care of your engine, do not neglect your tires, your brakes, or your suspension. Ignoring these items could cost you your life. I'll be starting the trip with fresh oil and a new set of Michelin Road 6s. There's many other things that I've done to make sure my bike is ready for this trip. We'll get into those things another time. Next up, number 2, financial issues. It's more than a little inconvenient to be out on the road and not have access to your money, either because of a lost or stolen credit card. Because of that, I'll make sure I have backup credit cards and backup identification. I use my phone on the road to find food, gas, lodging, or to resolve emergencies. It's important enough I'll carry a backup. Speaking of emergencies, they tend to be expensive. I'll have insurance on myself, my motorcycle, I'll have roadside assistance, and even evacuation and rescue coverage. Finally, number 3, health, personal well-being, and safety. I'm planning primarily for warm weather. But for chilly nights or nasty weather, I'll have rain gear and extra layers. My primary gear is mesh and armored. My helmet is ECE certified, and I'll be wearing TCX AirTech boots to protect my feet. From head to toe, I'm wearing gear designed to keep me safe and comfortable. The best gear does both. Heat will be a factor, so staying hydrated is a must. In my tank bag, I'll keep an insulated 2-liter hydration bag that I'll refill as I go along. On one long trip, I came down with a nasty cold that lasted for 5 days. If I get sick on the road, I'll do my best to carry on, but if it's bad enough, the safe and responsible thing to do is to adapt and change my plans. When days are long and fatigue sets in, it can be tempting to load up on caffeine and push on, and that's just not safe. The smart thing to do, what I'll do, I'll pull over and get some rest. Well, that's my trip and an overview of my plans. If you have questions or feedback, drop it in the comments. Hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you on the road.